is an author, love columnist, and lifestyle guru broadcasting about love, sex, dating, and relationships on TV, radio, and the web. From her articles to her award-winning web talk show Kiss and Tell TV, to her outspoken appearances on MTV, BBC Radio, and the CW, you never have to wonder what his professional big mouth really thinks. Abrams' popular love blog and advice blog, The Passionista Playbook, is featured on her blog, www.abiolatv.com. Please welcome her to our show.
It's funny, while the other gentleman was reading, the one who had the boombox and everything, I don't know where he went, but I was like, that's what happens to my socks. Like, and you should totally date black girls. We always wear shower caps. So. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to be reading from my debut novel, Dare, which was actually released in 2008. This is a beat-up copy because I use it for readings. But Simon & Schuster is doing a big re-release this fall in conjunction with Walmart, and I'm told that they're going to shrink wrap the books so that people can't read the steamy parts in the aisle. So let's do a conspiracy. Let's start something like, if there's a Walmart near you, let's all go and like unwrap the shrink wrap and leave it so that people in Walmart will be like all perverted and like, I like to do my part, you know. All right, so in the scene that I'm about to read, the main character, Maya, her boyfriend has been shot. Her boyfriend is in the hospital, and she just received word that her ex-boyfriend just sent a text and he's coming up to her room to see if she's okay. She cracked the front door and went to take a dump. Maybe the foul odor would wash him away. Her head was too full to deal with Rob. Even when she was caring for her man in the hospital, Maya couldn't stop her bratty brain from bouncing back and forth between thoughts of Thug and Rob. And somehow she blamed and hated Rob for that. Which man, which hip-hop was really hers? And which life? Big, fun, fine, and do for self? Or rough, rugged, teaching, each one teach one, and upgrading? Sitting on the crapper, she knew in her beat-down soul that Thug had a piece of her, but he was not the one. It had been Rob all along. She would never give him the satisfaction of knowing that, though. She sat on the toilet counting marble tiles and then washed up. Rob was waiting when she came out, his curly hair wild and unkempt. "I came to see if you were okay." He stood, then sat back down again on the fur sofa. "I'm a trooper. Isn't that what you whispered to me when my boyfriend was shot?" Rob put his arms around Maya and held her. "I just want you to be okay." He hugged her tightly. If she had tears, here's where they would have flowed. Here's where she might have been bawling, screaming, fainting if she was a good girlfriend. Instead, she hugged Rob back and held him and rested her head on his chest. Big Rob, Bobby. She breathed him in, expecting caramel, sandalwood and musk, Drakkar Noir. He had worn it his entire life, every frat boy's first cologne. She told him once that it made her weak. After they broke up, it made her sick. She reached up, put her lips on his neck, and thought about her lips on Robeson's forehead instead. Rob turned his head, and their lips were touching. Maya wasn't sure who started it, but 60 seconds later they were kissing, tonguing. 4 minutes later they were ripping off each other's clothes, falling. Rob lay on top of her, kissing her, and all she wanted was him inside of her. Thank the goddess that she was wearing her purple satins. Bitten. He felt her urgency. She reached into his boxers. She had forgotten. Dark and smooth, not too veiny, with neat foliage. He kissed her down to her waist and stopped, waiting. His hands and his mouth pulled off her panties. He put a finger inside her. "We should stop," he said. "No," she said, "never." Rob looked back. Rob stood back and looked at Maya, lying on the white fur. Beautiful. completely naked, bikini area waxed smooth. He stood up, lifted her in the air, put his mouth to her nectar, and drank. Rob, I can't take that. I can't take that, stop. He held her legs on his shoulders. She wriggled and screamed. He would not stop. Stop, stop, as his tongue flicked and probed every millimeter between her legs. When she was near collapse, Rob put her down on the white couch and held her. I'm sorry, he said. And then they were kissing again. Maya curled up on his lap, then sat on him, slowly. Home, home, he whispered as he entered her body. She was holding his shoulders and riding him wild and bareback. Their rhythm was a song, bucking, sucking, hot, angry, yearning, searching, bargaining, love. Maya, I love you, Rob whispered as he held her booty and pumped her up and down on top of him. A sex thing, she told herself. Men will say anything in the heat of passion. The room was starting to smell vulgar. Passion. Rob lifted Maya up and bent her over. Damn, in, damn, and out. Damn, in, out. He held her close, caressing as he went in and out. She moved faster, oh, and faster, oh, faster. Rob, I can't take it. She wanted to explode. Take it, he said, slamming gently into her over and over and over again. Maya, am I the best you've ever had? Over and over and over again. Now, there should be another word besides yes, or if she spoke another language, yes, because when he used to ask, she would be lying when she said yes or faking, and now he deserves some kind of special acknowledgement. Yes! A new and different term or word or a language. Yes! Something. Yes! 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 She was turned out, falling in, turned out, bitten. I love you, Maya, he said again. She climaxed, and seconds later, he did too. Maya stayed in position, feeling him soften. Harmony, he whispered. Harmony, she repeated, and held him tightly. Maya. She didn't want him to speak. Their bodies had said it all. I know the timing is jacked up, Maya, but I love you. I never stopped. I will always love you. Maya looked at his face. She tried to turn off her sociological mind that said that this was just communal grief, the lovemaking people do after a tragic event to feel life. God, she was a horrible girlfriend. She focused on a point on the floor. She actually focused on her boyfriend's sneakers, and he wrapped his arms around her. I'm your soul's mate. The talking was making it worse. She tried to kiss him to shut him up. He kissed her back and continued. You feel our symphony, Maya? I wasn't ready before, but now I am. I knew it when I walked into that hotel room and it was you. Why else would the universe do that? She didn't know. He was right, totally improbable, but there she was. She couldn't think about that now. She put a hand between his legs. He took her hand, kissed it, and he kept talking. Maya saw, felt, heard his truth. I hear you, she said. I'm sorry, he said. I feel you. You love me, Rob? Of course, but right now, don't love me, Maya. I'm just going to be here for you. I'm just going to hold you. Maya felt Rob's sweat on her body, and she wanted to sit in his soul, but she couldn't. You had sex with my friends. I mean, Lucy, I don't care. But Athena? I would never do that, Maya. His eyes were true, but she couldn't hear him. She saw her own sorrow, her own sadness at an ex, anger, denial, bargaining, but there was a B-side, revenge. Red, ripe, delicious revenge, and even in her grief, she tasted its bloody sap on her tongue and needed a place to spit it out. Maya hugged Rob, felt her heart beating against his chest, loved her, and said the only thing she could say in the situation. 8 words, the 8 words that the 8 words he sent via text when he broke up with her. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm just sorry. What can I say? That's it.